Hello, hello. I'm Jay. This is j.goddess Tarot, and welcome to this timeless pick a card reading of Soulmate vibes. Who's coming towards you next? So I have four piles here today. I have pile one with the snow white quartz, pile two with the green fluorite, pile three with, I want to call it like cherry jasper or something. I could be wrong, but that's what we're calling it today. And pile four with the rose quartz. So take a moment, take a few deep breaths, and pick the pile or piles that appeal to you. All right, my pile one. So for those of you who selected this snow white quartz, this is your reading about who is coming up next or who's coming towards you. Now, your pile, I have to say, was the most interesting of the ones that I shuffled. And just from the start, I want to see this is the pile, and please take what resonates and leaves what doesn't. This seems to be maybe my LGBTQ plus pile because I'm just looking at all of the imagery and all of the women who are in the cards. If you notice, there's pretty much mainly women in cards. If that doesn't resonate with you, and you aren't looking to attract a woman, this is going to be who's coming towards you next is going to be a man who is very in touch or has very balanced energies. But there is a strong message about some things that you need to do, my pal one. So let's get started about who's coming towards you next. So start with the tarot, with the some oracle. Improved communication, 9. A superficial bond, 10. And the answer is yes, 13. So looking at those cards, I'm feeling there may be two people that come towards you next, my pal ones. So the first one may be a superficial energy, and I believe that's also represented here in this Medusa card. Um, and I feel that this is going to be kind of a friends turn to lovers type of scenario. And what is going to happen is someone is going to come towards you, but you're going to notice that something about the bond just doesn't seem authentic or real, or that maybe this person just wants to use you for their benefit. Maybe you have exposure, access, money, etc. But you're going to realize this. However, what's also coming through is mother and artist. Now, what I'm feeling is mother and Medusa are go together. So I think the improved communication for you, my pal ones, has to do with potentially communication you have with your mother or mother figure, or someone who's played, or an older woman even who's played a role in your life. There may be a need to clear communication if that's not something that's an issue or that you want to do, because remember, this is a general reading, you have free will. There's something that you need to clear about that, and you can do that internally even if you don't want to reconnect with this person, my pal ones. So that is an important thing, because that superficial bond is going to come in with this person, this false soulmate, I'll say, because when I talk about soulmates, this reading is mainly geared toward romantic, but soul friends, soul family, etc. But this false connection or superficial bond is going to come in first, and it's going to be during a time when you need to either realign and become more comfortable with your own feminine energies. That doesn't matter about your gender, man or woman listening to this reading, but when you balance those within yourself, and or when you release something that may be strained on a relationship with a mother or mother figure. Once again, you don't have to do that with the person if you do not wish. You can clear that within yourself through meditation, through saging yourself. There are methods to do that. So you can clear any aspects of that bond that may be weighing you down. That's going to be important, because once you do that, my pal ones, you are going to clear the space for an authentic bond to come in. And that's where this artist is coming, and that's what this vibe is. So I think the superficial bond will come in, this person, this false soulmate will come in, but you will recognize it. And once you do the internal clearing of what you need to clear, they're going to kind of fall away. Like they're just going to try to like not call you back or not come around anymore. There's something, and they're just gonna go away. Nothing bad's gonna happen to them, but they're going to no longer be a part of your trying to like suck up your energy. And once you clear that, this artist is going to come in. Seems like somebody with a soft energy. They could actually be an artist, no matter if they're a man or a woman, or they can just have a very artistic nature. If you're interested in men, I think it's going to be a man who is very in touch with his emotions in a healthy and balanced way. Someone who is potentially very artistic. Maybe they do that as a profession or even just a hobby. And this is a connection that's going to be really, it's going to happen kind of fast, but it's going to be authentic when it does come in. And the answer is yes to that. So I feel it's definitely going to be a yes to a friendship, and it could be yes to more. So moving on to some other oracle cards, we have Tender Touch and Partner in Crime. So once this authentic energy comes in, this artist energy, my pal ones, I feel that if you do decide to get into any type of intimate relationship with them, it is going to be very soothing is the word that's coming through. It's going to be soothing. It's going to be nurturing. You're going to feel very safe. And even if you don't have an intimate relationship with this person, there's going to be something about their presence and their touch that's very comforting to you, and once again soothing, like I said. And they're going to be like a partner in crime to you, and that is amazing when you have, can make a friend like that. I think we all desire to have at least one friend like that is like our true ride or die partner in crime. They are with us, they support us, we can have fun together, we may be getting a little bit of trouble together, nothing serious, but that's what you're going to have with this person. Now, next set of oracle cards, and one I have kind of off camera because it didn't fit in the the frame. So we have Unrequited Love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So what I feel is the Unrequited Love is going to be in connection with that superficial bond, like that first bond that kind of comes through, that first person that emerges, and you sense very quickly that they are not authentic and don't genuinely just want to meet you and be with you for you. They have ulterior motives. So I think that's going to be it. I think you're going to desire to have a friendship and everything with them before you realize, once you realize and admit to yourself, like, hey, this person isn't authentic or good for me. That's where, that's coming in. And then Retreat. The retreat is you going within. I don't think this is retreat with another person per se in this spread. This is you doing a retreat and kind of going within and releasing whatever needs to be released with that mother connection. And that energy, because it's attracting things to you that you don't want, and that's that Medusa card. So next, let's see, we have our tarot, and you get quite a spread. We have the Magician, the Tower, the Six of Swords, the Wheel, and the Seven of Wands. So the Magician tells me this is something you've been manifesting for a while, because maybe you have not had a lot of satisfaction in your connections, relationships, friendships, etc. So you've been manifesting, and I feel that a change is coming, maybe even something unexpected. I feel with the Tower card, in the past you have gone through some maybe uncomfortable events, fallouts of friendships, maybe broken relationships, etc. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But you have gone through some things, and you've really been in places where you've been in pain, and now you are at the point where you're ready to process and release a lot of things. One of those things is the relationship with the mother I was describing earlier, and that's that Six of Swords. You're in the transition past it, because once you do the wheel, like, there's going to be something great that's coming up. The Wheel of Fortune, it's called that for a reason. But you doing that, releasing that, meditating and retreating, the Seven of Wands is going to be so important and imperative in order for you to release the old, clear out that energy, and just be open to attract the new and the authentic. And when you're able to do that, my pal ones, I feel you're going to have a long-lasting connection with this person. whether it be friendship, romantic. And the way I feel it's going to go for many of you who selected this pile is going to be the kind of like friends to lovers more than lovers to friends. It's going to move fast in some ways, but I feel that you really value trust, my pile ones. And it's going to be imperative for you to be with someone at a friendship level or in especially a relationship level that you can trust. So I feel that you will become close and develop that trust and respect and adoration and admiration for one another through a friendship first. Then, if you wanted to, it's going to progress to something more. If you don't, it's going to be great friends. So, looks like you have some really interesting things coming towards you. Looks like you have a really great person coming towards you, even though you have some things to clear and be mindful of people that come to you in the immediate future, my pal ones. So this was your soulmate reading, soulmate vibes reading about who's coming towards you next. Feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Please leave a thumbs up. It helps me with the algorithm. Feel free to choose another pile if you feel called to do so. If you want a personal reading, my information is below as well. And if this is all for today, I thank you for letting me read for you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Hello, my pal twos. For those of you who selected this green, I think this is green Flourite crystal for this timeless soulmate vibes reading of who's coming towards you next, here we go. So the energy I'm getting from this pile is you have been through some things, my pal twos. So the oracle cards first set is abandoned 19, friendship only 15, and build the foundation, number 1. And I'm really glad that it came out like the manner in which it did when I shuffled. So what this is telling me is, my pal twos, you have recently, or maybe in the past relationship or a past significant relationship, even if it was not your last specific relationship, you were with someone where I feel you were giving more than they were. And it ended up being that you felt abandoned at the end, or maybe taken for granted, or felt a bit blindsided, I think, for some of you, because it turns out they wanted friendships only. They wanted a friendship only relationship after you, like, oh, let's be friends, after you have invested quite a bit of time, energy, effort, etc. into the connection. And they definitely, I feel, took advantage of you and all of the wonderfulness you were offering, my pal twos. And, you know, it hurt you. And it has made you very cautious in some ways about relationships. But Spirit came out with this third one being build the foundation. So you're being asked to work on your healing and build the foundation. First of all, build the foundation within yourself of who you want to be the next time around in a relationship. How do you want to show up? You want an equal partnership. You don't want to give more than the other person is giving, my pal twos. So I love that the build the foundation came out basically saying, okay, this is rebuilding time for you. Now, the personality traits or the archetypes that came out for who's coming towards you next are intuitive, a performer, and a king. So this is pretty strong masculine energy. I'm actually getting like King of Wands vibe. They could be a fire sign. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Especially with a performer next to it, I get big Leo vibes. Even though Leo didn't come out, I'm just getting Leo vibes from this person. And I feel that they are going to have maybe, especially if they're a performer of any type, they may do that professionally. So they could have a little bit of fame or a little bit of following or be well known in their area. Definitely take what resonates. And because of that, I feel you two may be the center of some gossip, but don't let that faze you. This person is intuitive and they want to get to know you. You building the foundation, first of all, within yourself, meaning rebuilding yourself, working on your self-esteem, self-image, just all of those things, self-worth, any of those issues or any of those areas, those aren't issues, apologies, any of those areas that may have been impacted in this last or significant connection where you really felt abandoned because they kind of switched it up and were like, oh, I just want to be friends. Rebuild within yourself, and that will strengthen you to be able to build a very strong foundation with this person. And I feel strong boundaries with this person. I'm getting the energy in the sense that they're used to getting what they want very easily from people, not from doing anything janky, not from like duress or bullying, just because they're an attractive person. They're, like I said, strong Leo vibe, strong masculine energy. If they perform in any capacity, whether it be professionally or even as a hobby, they are, I do feel they're skilled at their what they do in terms of being a performer and intuitive. So they can, let's say, get women into bed very easily. I feel for you, my pal twos, it is going to be imperative that you build a strong relationship and trusted relationship and friendship with them. It's important to you because you've been in an exchange in the past where you've given too much and that wasn't reciprocated. And Spirit is calling you to be mindful of that and not do it again. And you two are going to build some really great memories together. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this person, and you are going to be, I think, impressed with yourself once you start asserting your boundaries, how much more you get out of the relationship, not in a manipulative or anything like that manner, but in a very healthy and balanced manner. And I feel you two will move towards a relationship quite quickly, and you establishing and reinforcing your boundaries and building that solid foundation will actually allow it to come about even more quickly. So we have very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And then another card that came out, I can lay down here. And this has to also do with your healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. There was something with mother and healing in Pile 1. So if you were indecisive between the two piles, go ahead and watch Pile 1. There may be some messages in there for you as well. So I feel this abandonment from this former relationship or whatever it was, along with maybe some family issues. Once you work on healing those things, you are going to be able to be prepared to deal with this king energy, because I feel, like I said, they're used to getting what they want because they are a nice looking person, and I think they have a lot of charm. I think they are very intuitive, and standing up to them sounds like you're standing up to a bully. This person's not a bully. I think they're very smooth, actually. I think the person coming towards you next is quite smooth. And I feel that you are quite intelligent, my pal twos. So you need to be able to kind of put a stop to their games and stick to your boundaries. That's going to make them respect you even more. So moving on to the tarot, we have 5 cards that came out. We have the Fool, 4 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, and Judgment. So the Fool, a new beginning is what you're going to have with this person. This king energy that's coming in. Even if you're interested in men, it's a man that has a lot of archetypal masculine traits, but not in any toxic manner. They are actually very aware of how they present, and they're very intuitive. So that to me lets me know that they're quite in touch with more feminine energies within themselves. But a new beginning is to be had, but you have to work on your healing first. That 4 of Swords, you have to do that first. It is going to be very important for you in order for you to have the level of relationship, the type of relationship you want, because it's going to help you erect and reinforce those boundaries I was talking about. So that 6 of Pentacles, that's a balance, that's a give and take. You working on your healing is also going to allow you to self-reflect from a point of awareness, not a point of judgment. The things that in this past significant connection that didn't go the way you wanted it to go, where you were giving a lot more than the other person, it's this time of healing, this 4 of Swords time, is going to allow you to see that. And once you see that and recognize maybe some of your patterns or behaviors, or maybe some tendencies that aren't helping you in a relationship, you are going to be able to correct that the next time around. But I feel it's going to be, and it is a little bit, this is during your healing, this 2 of Swords, you kind of don't know which way to go. You don't know whether to lean into what you've always done. And I feel maybe I think there's going to be a little bit of fear when this person comes. Not like fear of them actually, but fear of the intimacy, the emotional intimacy that they're offering you. And that's another reason that healing is so important. Working on yourself and then building those strong foundations, because this King energy, they're going to want to have a physical connection with you. Take that as you may. But they're going to want to have an emotional connection with you as well. And I feel because you have been hurt in the past, my pal twos, that may cause you to be a little bit skittish or a little bit standoffish. And you shouldn't be, because having a great emotional connection with the right person or person is an amazing part of our human experience, you know. And we want that. We want to connect with people that love us, support us, lift us up, etc. And you are going to have that with them, but you're going to have to release some things like the judgment. You're going to have to let go, I think, of some control, but you are only going to be able to do that in a healthy way once you work on your healing, once you clear that energy from that past relationship or whatever that was. And also, the person that wanted friendship only, I feel you're likely still in connection with this person. Part of your healing may be completely severing that connection. I'm getting that would probably be the healthiest for you, my pal twos, but you have free will, so you do what you think is best. But I don't think it's serving you to allow that person to have any access to you. They need to move on to whatever is best for them, and you absolutely need to do what's best for you. And that's to move away from anyone who would harm you like that, or just be insensitive and thoughtless like that. You don't deserve that. So I think a part of the healing may be also to release that connection altogether, because I feel for many of you, you still have that going on. So these are the messages that came through for you, my pal twos. Please like and leave a comment below. If you're interested in a private reading, my links are below as well. If another pile called to you, feel free to select it. And if not, and this is where we end for today, thank you for letting me read for you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Hello, my pal threes. For those of you who selected like this fun, like, I call it cherry jasper. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but this dark stone right here. This is your soulmate vibes reading about who is coming towards you next. So I shuffled a mix of oracle and tarot cards to get any messages that will come through. So let's start. We have catching feelings, 18, unsure of desires, 3, and spend time traveling, 23. So what I'm getting, my pal threes, is that you have, this is a person that you're probably already in connection with, like recently. You've just recently met them. You've just recently gotten in connection with them. For many of you, I feel this could have even been like through like online dating app, through social media, something like that. But this is someone that I feel you have recently connected with. And so far, maybe a few flirtations, and it's been kind of cool. Now, you like them and you're kind of catching feelings, but you're not sure. And I feel you're not sure just because the newness of it, number one, and there just may be some things from your past that some like past relationships that you haven't fully like let go of. And I don't mean that from any like clingy or excessive way. I mean from just even reminiscing about. And I feel for you, my pal threes, that's kind of important for you to move forward in this connection. If you haven't met this person yet and you have selected this pile, you may have only connected with them in the 5D and not the 3D yet, or this person has not crossed your path just yet. But it's either recently happened or it's going to happen soon in the 3D. And remember, time is an illusion, so take what resonates. Spend time traveling to me means you can literally spend time traveling if you have the means and the ability to do so. But I feel it also means spend time in nature, spend time journaling, spend time going within. you need to spend some time with yourself, I think, to sort out your feelings about this person, if they've come in yet or if they're coming in soon, as well as sort your feelings out about things that happened in the past. A similar message came up in another pile about just sorting out past energies. I think it was pile 2. So check that out if you were called to do so. There may be some messages there for you as well. That's going to be very important to you. So, and that's where next set of oracle cards, endings and beginnings, and then commitment. So it looks like whatever this next connection is, there is going to be some commitment attached to it. Could be long-term relationship, could be marital, like you guys get married. That's going to vary depending on what resonates with you. So you have to put to bed that old stuff, like I said, that releasing that old, reminiscing, whatever it is, so you can begin something new, my pal threes, because I believe holding on to it is going to keep that kind of, because I think you're unsure of your desires. It's feeling like low grade, maybe anxiety about it. You either think it's too good to be true, or you feel you're not ready for the connection, or something like that. You know, I feel a lot of this is just in your head, and letting go and making peace with whatever that old energy was is going to help you move forward. Now, on to some personality traits, or like the archetypes. I can't even say personality traits, but kind of some of the archetypes that represent your next person, like who's coming towards you. We have the high roller, and we have the Cancer. I definitely feel this is a masculine coming in. So if you're interested in men, especially with these two cards next to each other, their body may look very similar to that. So I'm getting a very fit individual, possibly or probably with dark hair or a dirty blonde hair. So because all of the hair on the men in the cards is dark, except for one, so I feel they are going to have a darker hair color. And if this is a woman that you are inquiring about, I feel she'll have dark hair as well and be quite fit, like be very physically attractive, not just in like a nice face, but a nice, what is considered broadly to be a nice body, like quite fit. So whomever you're inquiring about, I think they're going to be quite fit. I feel for many of you that's your type, and if that's not your type per se, I feel this person's body as well as their personality is going to be your type, my pal threes. So we have high roller, Cancer, and then over here we have Aquarius. So Cancer and Aquarius could show up strongly in their chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, or any other positions, especially like Mars and Venus, that do play a major role in someone's birth chart. And with the Cancer and Aquarius, Cancer is a water sign, Aquarius is an air sign, but they're both indicative of someone who's quite intuitive. Cancer is very emotive. They're very much able to be in tune with someone's emotions, as well as the moon. So with the moon here and the dark, like a dark background in Aquarius, you could meet them at night, especially with the high roller. This is giving me Vegas vibes. That's another reason why you may be unsure. Say you are out, if you're in the States, then, you know, Las Vegas is a very popular gambling destination. You could be out someplace like Las Vegas or anywhere, or out in a more party type of atmosphere, my pal threes, when you cross paths with this person. That may be another aspect of why you're unsure of your desires, because even though you're kind of clicking and you're catching feelings, you may be unsure because of the environment. Because let's be honest, it can be kind of tricky to take someone seriously. I have done this myself when I meet someone in like a club setting or a party setting or a gambling setting. So that could be another reason why you're kind of unsure, because you're not sure of how serious they are, but they dig you. And I think this is definitely something worth exploring. If you want to, you have free will. You can choose to or not, but I feel go at the pace where you feel comfortable. There is no rush here. I feel is also something that's very important. And what's coming up here is they are going to surprise you if you decide to move forward with this person. They are going to surprise you with how serious they are about a relationship, and how like emotionally mature they are and like ready to be in a relationship, because You may not have gotten that impression of them when you first met them, especially, as I say, if you met them in like a party, gambling, club type of atmosphere setting. So I think that's very important for you to know. Don't judge a book by its cover, because there's much more to this person than what you initially see. So moving on to the next oracle cards, we have codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. What I feel that this is saying, I don't feel you or this person coming in has addictions per se. If you do, take what resonates. That's something you need to, of course, address in the manner that you need to, as well as them. But that's not what I'm getting for the majority of the people who select this pile. What I'm getting is that you two could potentially fall into a codependent relationship if you're not mindful. And I feel that's also why it's going to be so important to move at a slower pace, even if you want to move fast. Like, once you see that this person is serious, once you release the old, whatever that old stuff is, and you're truly at the place you're ready to start again or start something new. And that's another card that came out, new love. I will put that here. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. That's your high roller. And it looks like there's going to be commitment. Like, once you can clearly see the potential in this connection, you guys are going to want to spend a lot of time together, okay? And likely move fast, like move in quick together if you're at the age to do that, or be on the phone all the time, whatever the case may be. Slow down. There's no rush. And I feel it's going to be imperative for you to take things slowly. Not snail's pace, but I feel it's like a waltz, like a dance. Like, be mindful, taking things slowly. Because Seven of Pentacles, now we're going to switch to the tarot. So we have Seven of Pentacles. So the first thing is, like, you guys are going to be able to grow something together. But as we know, Pentacles energy is slow. Slow and steady wins the race. But Pentacles energy is also prosperous and fruitful. So you two are going to be able to grow something great together, but I feel that can only happen with some patience and no one rushing. Very important. So your High Priestess, Strength, Five of Swords, and the Emperor. High Priestess represents you, my pal threes. I feel that you are quite an intuitive person yourself, and you're going to link up with this high roller who's intuitive, because I think they have Cancer, Square, and or Aquarius in some strong positions in their charts, which gives them quite a bit of intuitive abilities. Yeah, pal 2 is popping up a lot here, some of the same themes. So if you are called to that pal, please watch it. But I feel you two are going to be able to tap to communicate and kind of, like, I don't want to say read each other's thoughts. That could be a little freaky. That's not what I mean. But I feel you're going to be very in tune with one another. But the way to build that level of intimacy and connection is through pacing yourselves. Like I said, doesn't mean go at a snail's pace, but it also means you don't move in with one another after a month of dating or something. Like, just be mindful and let things flow. I think it's going to be quite important, because with the Leo, with the Strength card, Leo, this person could have some Leo in them. I think they're a little flashy. They're like showing their body. I feel that there's a lot of potential here in this connection if the two of you, like a garden, like if you mine it, if you take care of it, if you do the things you have to do to support the health and wellness of it, you're going to have a very fruitful harvest. So you're going to have a very fruitful outcome, I feel, which the Commitment card, and to me that looks like wedding, like something like that, something serious. And for some of you that could be it, but I feel that you're going to have a fruitful relationship if you two take your time. That's the biggest thing coming out. And with the Five of Swords, there are going to be times when you may get uncomfortable. You're not sure which way to go. You're not sure what to think, my pal threes, but I feel the more that you trust in your own intuitive abilities, and the more you trust your gut, and the more you have also good communication. I think some of the times when you will like be caught in your head and not know what to say or not know what to think, it's because you're not communicating with this person, with your partner. So communication is also key. Though you two can tap in pretty easily to one another's emotions, it does not mean you can read each other's minds. So no, you can't do that, but I do think you are going to be very aware and in tune with one another's emotions. But communication is going to be a big help in two things. Really being mindful of that codependency inclination that you two may have with one another, as well as always being clear on where the other person stands in the relationship, what they want, what they desire, discussing any potential issues, etc. That's important. So then the Emperor. So the Emperor is a very strong masculine energy that's coming in as well, whether you want a man or woman. I think this is going to be a person who's very comfortable with the authority in the manner they move through life. So if it's a man, I think he presents as in a way that is very much typical, like CEO fashion, business leader type of guy, or like high roller if he is a professional, a poker player or something. Whatever he does, he does it strongly and assuredly and with a lot of confidence. And if it's a woman that you are desiring for a partner, or is your soulmate that comes in, she's going to do the same thing. Remember, this is gender neutral. This is about energy. So whomever this person is, they have a strong confidence in the authority they carry and the way they move and their way of being in life. And I feel it's going to be very reassuring to you to have someone who can do that, especially with as intuitive as they are, because they are actually very strong in leadership on a couple of planes. They're a very mindful, empathetic leader. So I think if they lead people, they're good at it. But even in your relationship, I think they're going to lead and you're going to appreciate it. Like, this isn't going to be anything negative or toxic, but I think they carry authority and know how to wield it correctly and appropriately and thoughtfully. So this is the message that came through for you, my pal threes. Please leave a like and a comment below. Feel free to check out another pile if you feel called to do so. If you're interested in a personal reading, the links to my Etsy shop are below as well. Let's see, like I said, click on another reading if it calls to you, and if not, and this is where I leave you for today. I want to thank you for allowing me to read for you today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Hello, my pile fours. So for those of you who selected the beautiful rose quartz crystal for this timeless soulmate vibes reading of who's coming towards you next, this is for you. So I want to say from the beginning, like, I love your spread and you are my favorite pile. Oh my goodness. There is a lot of energy coming towards you, and it's coming towards you fast. So let's start. First, I'm going to start here at the bottom. So we have contact within a week, 16, soulmate, 23, 16 and 7 is 23, 7 days in a week. And then trapped emotions, 16. So if you see 16 a lot, that could be a signal. And it sounds like a week, a time span of a week from whenever you watch this, may be a significant time period for you, my pal fours. Yeah, so something's coming in, and this is a soulmate reading, soulmate vibes reading, and you got the soulmate card. I feel this is definitely a romantic soulmate that is trying to come in or is coming in soon. And for some of you, not all of you, and this could be the reason for the speed, for some of you, this could be an ex, not a recent ex per se, but an ex from maybe a few years ago that you've reconnected with. Say you had an ex in, high school or college, and then you moved from that location, and then it's several years later and you're moving back. So I feel this is, for some, take what resonates, this is an ex where there's been some years of separation, growth, etc. For others of you, this is a new connection coming in, but you guys are going to click very quickly because you are soulmates. So soulmates don't always have to be romantic. You could have past life soulmate connections where you were friends in a past life or family in a past life. But there's going to be, to me, when I see soulmate, that means you're going to have a deep, instant resonance with a person. Now, what that past life energy was, I think for many of you, it was either they were a friend or a lover in a past life. But for some of you, it doesn't have to be. But there's going to be almost like an instant clicking with this person. And that's also what's going to give you the comfort for it to move fast. So let's look at some characteristics, like some traits, some of the archetypes that may surround your next person coming in. We're going to start here. So we have wizard, beauty, mystic, and caregiver. I don't think I've ever gotten the wizard and the mystic in a single spread. So this is telling me your person could be deeply spiritual, deeply religious. If they're feminine, they could identify as a witch. They could be very into the occult. They don't have to be. Take what resonates. If that's not something you would want a partner to be engaged with, totally okay. But I feel they are, if nothing else, very spiritual, and they're very aware of maybe very strong intuitive abilities that they have. They could do, I'm even hearing like magician for some of you. It could be someone who is a performer and is like a magician, but there is that aspect there. There is like a spiritual aspect there, and it's coming in pretty strong. But they're a very attractive person. And I feel that they're going to, whether they're a male or female, whomever you are interested in for an intimate relationship, that they are going to be an attractive person, and they're going to actually have a very large capacity for empathy too with this caregiver. I don't think this means they're actually someone's caregiver. I think they know how to give care very easily. I think they know how to empathize with people, and that's going to also be a very attractive trait for you, my pal fours. I'm seeing that with this connection, like I said, there's going to be almost like an instant clicking with one another. Then they're going to have a lot of, they could be an empath as well, or you can be an empath, my pal force. That's what the wizard and the mystic might represent. It might represent a mirroring of the two of you, like they have one energy and you have another. You may identify with the occult or as a witch or even as a tarot reader or something, but there's going to be, like I said, a very strong spiritual aspect to this connection. Along with the past life, I think there's going to be some past life energy here, some soulmate energy here. From a past life, not just in current life soulmate energy. I think there's also past life. Now you two are going to, I feel, get to the physical portions of the relationship rather quickly. Remember, you always have the power and the right to say no, my pal fours, but I feel that you are going to want to lean into that maybe even a little more quickly than you normally would with someone, because there's going to be a lot of romance. There's going to be a lot of love and affection and things like that. And we can kind of see here from embrace, like there's going to be a lot of, that's hot. There's going to be a lot of physical connection. Someone's love language, you or theirs, could be physical touch. So I feel that that's going to be a part of the relationship from pretty early on. Even if you haven't gotten to the physically intimate parts of it yet, I feel physical touch is going to be a big thing. It helps you to connect. I also think it helps you to communicate and relax. So even before sex is in the picture, physical touch is probably in appropriate ways. I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, hugging, maybe laying on each other when you're like in the same vicinity, sitting on a couch together. There's a lot of that feeling going on here. Now, next set of cards. This is, you have a really cool pile for. We have honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. I feel this is you two are going to do some traveling together. It could be an actual honeymoon where you get married and you're on honeymoon, but I feel this is also talking about more so, I think this is talking about traveling together. That may be a great idea if you two have common interests. That you, of course, once you feel comfortable and you know trust to do that, going on vacation together, going on a hiking trip together, going camping together, you know what I mean, going on a weekend to a spa or something that maybe even you can drive to. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big trip, but I think time away is going to help you to explore your bond to a deeper level, my pal fours. And I think that's going to be a healthy way for you to get out of maybe your everyday environment, especially since both of you seem to, there's a lot of like spiritual connection here. I think that'll help, especially something in nature, I think will be very helpful for you. But this is interesting. So we have pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Part of the reason you want to be mindful about moving fast, because this thing is fast moving, is to not be blinded by or not to ignore any red flags that might come up. Now, for this particular pile, I am getting that your person may be the type of person that loves to be in love. They love to fall in love. And that's a bit of a red flag because they love that fall in love stage of a relationship, that singing in the rain, that rom-com stuff, you know, they live for that. I think that's their jam. However, how good are they in an actual relationship? That, I think, is going to be something that you really want to sit back and observe, but also communicate about. Talk to one another. Define or explain what your expectations are in a relationship. I think that's going to be very important for you, my pal four, especially since this thing is moving fast. And I mean, we have speed all over here. Like, we have speed all over. I like your spread, like I said, the best, because there's just so much like mutual desire and love and energy and connection and speed and all the things that just make, to me, for me, a really great romance. But the red flags may be you all maybe moving so fast that you're not checking to see, are we really pouring into this relationship on more than just maybe a physical level, or on more than just a superficial level, where we really are building something, we're building a foundation around this. That, I think, is the biggest red flag. I'm not getting the sense of red flags of like personality or addiction or anything like that. I'm more so getting, are we both ready to pour into this thing? And I think that's going to be a question that you need to step back and ask yourselves as you go forward. So now we're going to move to the tarot. We have 6 of Wands, 3 of Cups, 7 of Cups, the Chariot, and 8 of Wands. So 6 of Wands, success. This thing has the potential and is likely going to be very successful. Now, you two, I feel there's also going to be like a public or community aspect to this. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are going to be a popular couple amongst your friend group, or maybe you or your, you know, the person coming in has a bit of influence in something. They could be an actual influencer or well known in your area. I don't know, but I feel that there's, with the 6 of Wands and the 3 of Cups, there's going to be a lot of people who see your connection. And I don't mean like people being nosy about it. I mean like people that can see you because you guys are out and about, and you're out and about because of why, you know. So that's what I'm getting. But I am getting success. I am getting a lot of 3 of Cups, kind of a double meaning here. So I do think this means a lot of people are going to be around you, enjoy and everything. But for some of you, this is more of the 18 plus bend. You may be open to explore different things from an intimate space that may involve other people. So that's only if it resonates. Leave it there if it doesn't. But I feel you're going to come to a place, my pal fours, especially because this thing is moving kind of fast, where you're not going to know which way to go. I think you're going to come to that point, and this may be after you pay attention to a few of those red flags that, or potential red flags that were mentioned earlier, like, wait, hey, we're doing great in this honeymoon phase, but am I really seeing the characteristics I need to see to believe we could take this thing forward to a full-blown relationship? And I feel you may not know where to go. And that's, to me, that 7 of Cups. Like, you're trying to make a choice. You will want to really rely on your strong intuitive senses and trust yourself on what the next steps are. And I feel that you're going to lean into this and make the decision to move forward. And when you do, it's going to be like bam, out of nowhere. Like not out of nowhere, but it's going to be with the 7, the Chariot and the 8 of Wands, that thing is going to happen fast. Like, meaning they're going to want to lock you sounds so bad, but they're going to want to be in a monogamous committed relationship. I feel pretty, if that's the way you want a relationship, of course, in whatever way you define it, if that's an open relationship, a committed relationship, whatever you two define it as, they're going to want to move into that space with you very, very quickly, a defined relationship, whatever works for you. And I'm getting the sense that there's going to be a lot of happiness here. There's going to be a lot of joy. I think the biggest thing is going to be, don't lose yourself in the connection and don't get so swept away by how much you guys click and how in sync you are that you're not paying attention to minding the relationship so you can continue to be fruitful and you continue to like talk about problems. Because what I can see with this connection happening pretty easily, because you guys click, get along, both know how to go with the flow, both can are very in tune with the other's emotions. I feel when there are things that potentially arise that could be problems, you may not want to discuss them because you don't want to disrupt your flow. Not from a fear perspective, but just you're like, it's not that serious, and then you just move on. But that mindset I don't think is going to be helpful in the longevity of the relationship. So if anything that needs to be brought to light and discussed and decided upon as a couple, do that, because I think that'll do nothing but serve you and help you. All right, so these are the message that came through for you, my pile 4, about your, who's coming towards you next. Please like and leave a comment below. If another pile appeals to you, feel free to click on it. Maybe some messages in there for you. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, links to my Etsy shop are below. And if this is where I leave you for now, thank you for letting me read for you today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.